welcome back to the Okie Scrapper channel. Yeah, I was kind of looking around, what do I want to do a video on? So I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and do a motor. I got a pile of them down here, so needed something quick. So I can get around, get back down to the hospital where my wife's at. I'll give you a little update on that at the end here. So I'm going to go ahead and got a pretty good sized motor here. Oh, let's see, 15 amp. Emerson, looking to see RPM 3450, 240 volt. That's a 220 motor. I think it's the one that came off that big air compressor that wouldn't run. So we'll go ahead and tear it down and see how much copper we can get out of this thing. That one worked all right. Just held the nut with my fingers. Sometimes I gotta either put a wrench on there or pliers on the nut on the other end. Yeah, I kind of question why prices are low like they are. You'd think with the war now going on and we're sending munitions and stuff over there to Israel and we're sending them to Ukraine, I think we'd be going all out trying to build up more rockets, missiles, you know, everything. Yeah, pretty much everything, which takes a lot of iron and steel, unless they're just using new metal for all that stuff, which that could be the case. A lot of times the recycled stuff, that could be part of the problem with the motor right there. A lot of this dirt daubers, they'll do it. I think a lot of the recycled metal goes to appliances and stuff like that, but when it comes to armored steel and stuff, I think they pretty well make that steel or iron and whatnot right from ore, because it has to be pretty more of a precise recipe, I imagine, to get the strength they want. So that doesn't help any of us recyclers at all, you know. That's probably pretty much a new metal market, but you know, back during what, World War I, World War II, they had scrap metal drives, so they needed the scrap metal for some stuff. So you know, you'd think there'd be a pretty good uptick in a lot of that stuff. China's not buying like they used to, but whoever's making that stuff nowadays, you'd think they would be buying it from us unless they got a cheaper source. I forgot to turn this microphone around before I started. Sorry about that, guys. I do that. Okay, that piece there is nice and clean. Nice clean aluminum, cast aluminum. And I just knocked that other one out. I think I'm just gonna do it that way. And then that may not want to go. I don't know if I got a burr on that or not. I think I'll try to buff that off a little with the grinder. So if you got earbuds in, go ahead and turn them down. I'm going to raise this camera up because it doesn't look like you can see what I'm doing up at the top there. There we go. I think that might help. And just clean that up a hair where I cut the shaft off. Today is Monday the 23rd. My youngest daughter's birthday. And I don't think that really wants to go. I don't think that wants to move. It's got a big bearing in there. Let me, at least not with that hammer. Probably have to get a bigger hammer. Put a little WD-40 on it. Yeah, I had to go pick up some dog food today and get the kids, my youngest daughter, some more food. That is not wanting to budge. I think it might have budged hair. Looks like I'm gonna have to. Yeah, it's moving a little bit. If I could drive that whole bearing out of there. Almost there. Yeah, we are there. Yeah, there it is. Clean aluminum. Okay. And we got this piece with the bearings. Something for the short iron pile. Yeah, one of these days, probably when the wife gets back out of the hospital, I'll do a video on the different metals. One of my subscribers wanted to wanted me to show the different metals so they can, tell copper from brass and aluminum from stainless steel, stuff like that. So I'll have to gather all this stuff together ahead of time. Okay, now what I do on these things, for the guys that are new here, the new scrappers, I always try to remember not everybody's been scrapping for 30 years like I have. So, which even my 30 years have been kind of off and on. But now what I'll do, I'll make a cut down the length. It looks like it's got a couple maybe little spot welds or something there to maybe indentations to hold that in place. I had put in an Amazon order. Ordered like a 5-pack of regular Sawzall blades and a 3-pack of the carbide Diablos. So I'm getting low on them. Trying to leave money in savings as much as possible for doctor bills, hospital bills. Okay, here we go. So pull your earbuds. Okay, pull these wires through. Yeah, it's supposed to have rain coming in tomorrow. I'll probably be at the hospital all day. Yeah, that's not going to work right there. It's still not wanting to slide. So I'll go ahead and make another cut over here, and hopefully that'll be enough. I think there's going to be a pretty good chunk of copper in here. Hopefully that's copper anyway. Let me grab a file. Well, the big windings are aluminum. Yeah, that's kind of a fail. Yeah, little windings are aluminum too, darn it. That would have been nice if that was copper. But it's not. I know a lot of people, they probably just stop right there and just throw it in the shred. But there are a few of us, and some of us just hobby scrappers, that will go ahead and get that out of there. So I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. And I mean, if that was copper, that would have probably been about 3-4 pounds. But I guess an air compressor doesn't really need to have that much of a draw on it or whatever. Not that heavy duty, so they've been able to go with aluminum. And that's probably why the motors go bad. And then to get a new motor, they wanted like $400. You know, is a motor worth $400 if it's aluminum winding? Of course, when we buy it, we don't know if it's aluminum. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn the compressor on, let it build up so we don't have that running. And I'll throw this in my bin outside and throw those in the aluminum bin, and then we'll get back and we'll cut that open and see how much aluminum we get. Unfortunately, it would have been nice to see if it was copper. Okay, we're back. Now when it comes to these, I always try to get these wires out of here fairly quick, but yeah, it's not 100% necessary. What I like to use, let me turn this monitor on this camera around so I can kind of see what you guys are seeing. I use these little hook blades. I'm not sure if you can see that. Because when I'm dragging the, if I use a straight blade, when I'm dragging it across here, if it hits the copper, it'll kind of dull it down kind of quick. So I use the hook blade. That way it'll get in there and kind of up underneath and hook the strings and pull them off and not so much hit the copper. Of course, this is aluminum, so it's soft metal. Okay, we're done with that, so I'll get this stuff, side cutters and the box knife out of the way. And then, well, I think I'll go ahead and pull that box knife back out here and finish cutting these strings. Now, for you new guys, check with your scrapyard that you use, that you choose of your choice, and find out if they have a problem with the strings or not. Some scrapyards, their buyers don't care. It doesn't matter to them, so those scrapyards will let you leave the strings on. But then there are other scrapyards out there that don't want the strings. Maybe their buyers don't want them. And it doesn't surprise me if a scrapyard that doesn't want the strings, if you leave the strings on, they might just give you insulated prices, you know, 50 cents a pound or something for copper. Copper or aluminum, either way, but you know. Okay, since I cut all the strings on this side, I want to cut this end off. Because if I cut this end off now, I'll have strands of aluminum going everywhere. So, and usually when I start cutting these, if I'm doing several at a time, I always try to start with a new blade. On here, I got these Go Yonder blades. I pay about $27 for 50 of them, so that's just over 50 cents. And I have these on my Amazon affiliate page. There'll be a link in the description below the video description. And you can also get them in packs of 10 and packs of 25. So, I didn't have the smaller bunches in there for quite a while, but I thought, well, you know, a lot of new scrappers can't afford $27 all at once, so I thought it'd make it a little bit more convenient for them by having lots of 10 and lots of 25. So, like again, if you got earbuds in, pull them out or turn the volume down. Okay, the compressor finally caught up. So I went all the way around with that new blade and it didn't quite get all the way through, so I'll go ahead and use this Sawzall blade. Finish that off pretty quick. And then this little tool, I keep forgetting to turn that monitor over. Take this little tool and pull these little pieces of plastic off of here. Try to get it as clean as I can. I know a lot of guys will say, oh, it's not worth the time. Yeah, they're right, it's not worth their time. But if you're just a hobby scrapper, or if you got really nothing much else to do, you know. Of course, then I argue with them, I say, well, football's not worth the time either. You can spend hours watching football and you don't make a dime. You know, unless you're betting on the game. But, yeah, it's not always about work and making money. Sometimes, you know, if you consider scrapping a hobby, you know, it's one of the few hobbies you can actually make money at. Don't make a lot, you know. Like I say, scrapping's a lot of work for a little money. But there are a few full-time scrappers that, you know, that live on scrapping, make their living scrapping. And I know, like Roger over there at CU Scrapping, he tears these down. Of course, I think he said he gets like, was getting 80 cents a pound or something like that for aluminum wire. So they're in Champaign, Illinois. So you know, check your yard, find out what they pay for aluminum wire, because they may pay better for aluminum wire than they do for sheet aluminum, cast, or extruded. And if that's the case, you know, 80 cents a pound isn't bad. Of course, it's not as good as $3 a pound like what copper would pay. But right now with prices dropping, I'm not sure how far they'll go. So we'll just have to see on that. So the lower prices on everything else goes, and if aluminum pretty well stays the same, then it makes aluminum wire a little more affordable to do, to spend time on. That's one thing I didn't do, is put oil in my gun. Now for the new scrappers, the new guys, what you do here, just get you a screwdriver, a pry bar, and just kind of start at one of these ends and just start pulling it out, you know, little bunch by bunch. I kind of do it here with, I use my air chisel. It's got a kind of a V cut into it. It works really great. But if you don't have an air chisel, you can pry it out, or you can put your stator in a vise, and you can get a piece of round stock, and then if you can heat it up or just flatten it out with a hammer, get it flattened out nicely and where it spreads, and then cut your V into it, then you can just take and hammer it out of there. There's different ways. That's actually the way a scrapper was doing it. I saw a video where he had a round bar, he flattened it out, and he was, you know, using a hammer to knock it out. And I thought, I like that idea. I said, that worked great for the air chisel. Trying to take a whole bunch at once just isn't working right there. Like 2 bunches at a time was pretty good. But for years I just pried it out. I think I used the air chisel on these ever since I started, but usually I would get in there with the air chisel and I would cut the end off with a flat chisel. That took some time. Sometimes it made a mess. And sometimes it'll just air chisel will just kind of cut these things. The best way, if you have a hydraulic press, log splitter or something, or a big hammer gun, get a wide blade and you cut these right in half and then just pull it out both sides. Yeah, that's not really wanting to come out of there too easy. Yeah, this isn't going to weigh very much. Aluminum doesn't. Okay, we're coming right along. Get some of this plastic sticking to them. Yeah, I had to come back to the house, Dad, and pick up some dog food and pick up a few groceries for the youngest daughter. So I thought, well, while I'm here I'll do a video. Keep that algorithm going. So I do with a lot of my YouTube money, it goes into savings, and then when doctor bills come in, it covers the doctor bills. Most of it anyway, not all of it. I got a letter, I think, from Social Security saying we're supposed to get like a 3.2% cost of living increase first of the year. So that'll be nice. Not a lot, but it'll help. These things can be kind of hard to get off sometimes. Sometimes these things stick pretty good, so sometimes you can just smash them with pliers or put them on a good solid surface and hit them. They kind of break loose. This one here is not wanting to. There we go, maybe. Yep. Yeah, those of you that guys that are praying, I'll give you an update on the wife here in a minute. As soon as we get this weighed. That way those that want to just see the weight can see it and move on. Move on to another video. some of these just hard to get a hold of. They don't want to let go. Okay, now motor may have ran hot a few times and kind of melted those things, and then they kind of bond to the wires. A couple of them strings don't want to come out of there either too easily. Get a better hold on them with the pliers. Yeah, a couple of bills I had to pay today too. So one's for the hospital bill. So I'm going to try to take it back with me instead of having to put a stamp on it. Just take it to the billing department when I get back. And this will go in a short iron, or prepared steel, HMS, depends on where you're at, what your yards call it. Here in Oklahoma, they call it short iron, and usually for the short iron it has to be 3 foot long, or under 3 foot long by 18 by 18, so it cannot exceed those dimensions. And I know other people have told me that where they're at, it's 4 foot long. So just check with your yard, find out what they call it and how they sort it, or how they want it. And when I first asked the yard down here about the short iron, I said, well, how thick does it have to be? Give me an idea. How many, metric or whatever. And they said anything thicker than a trampoline frame. I thought, okay. It's pretty much just kind of heavy steel. You can get a lot of it in a lot of weight in a small area where you can't really with that light steel, like appliances and sheet tin. Thin pipe, a lot of that stuff's kind of bulky, takes up a lot of room. Yeah, I hold this stuff up high a lot of times, and it's out of view for you guys. Let me raise this up a little more. I need a new tripod, really. But this one's still working, so. Saw another outboard online for, guy wants 150. I'm not sure of the year. It's a Johnson 9.9 with electric start. I thought, okay, I kind of want one with electric start. So I don't really like giving 150 for an outboard that I don't know if it runs or not, but usually those electric start kits go for 200, 400 bucks. So I'm thinking, okay. Worst comes to worst, even if I can't get it running, I can part the motor out and I can save the electric start. Then I find another motor like that, I can put the electric start on it. Kind of like that idea of electric start. Of course, then I gotta have the battery in the back, or just put a small cranking battery back there. It shouldn't take a whole lot of cranking amps to crank a 10 horse outboard motor over, or 9.9. And I ordered some parts today to get these 2 Mercuries going that I've got. Once I get those going, then I'll get over here on this 9.5 Johnson that I've got and try to get it, see if I can get it running. That's the one that had the knotted up pull rope. Okay, we got this done. Yeah, it's light. I'll toss it over here. Yeah, 1 pound, 9.3 ounces. So not a whole lot. So yeah, but I get my barrel full, then I'll take it in and make some bucks on it. It all adds up eventually. So I want to thank everybody for watching. It's not going to stick around for the update, and remind you guys of the Amazon affiliate link in the description below. I make a little bit of ad revenue. It's not a whole lot, but it helps. Helps with, you know, helps supplement the Social Security and pay doctor bills and stuff. So, and you guys take care and happy scrapping. And then on the wife, yeah. Tip this up, see if I can get in the view. Okay. Yeah, I've got my head cut off there, didn't it? Hopefully not too much back, probably too much backlighting. I'll see if I can just turn sideways here. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going. My wife's been telling me for a while I need to shave, so I'll probably go ahead and shave that off. And I step back, and then I drop out of view. So yeah, okay. So on the wife, she had surgery on Monday. Monday evening, she went in at 6:30, came back out about 8:30, 8:45, something like that, on her colon. And through the week, I could ask her questions, and she'd nod her head or shake her head or, you know, shrug her shoulders or something, but she wouldn't really speak. And then Saturday morning, she started kind of talking, kind of mumbling. So some of it was hard to understand. I figured her mouth was dry and they weren't letting her have anything to drink, but they finally had these little, looked like little dum-dums. It was this little sponge on a stick, and we could dip it in water and put it in her mouth where she could get some moisture in her mouth. And yesterday, she was talking really good, and the doctor said, yeah, she could have liquids, you know, clear liquids and that. So they brought her a breakfast tray or lunch tray. I think it was a lunch tray, and it had, I guess, beef bouillon or whatever, beef broth, and then some iced tea. Of course, she, you know, she's got some ice water. And she pretty well downed that broth. And then later in the evening, she, you know, started hurting in her belly and stuff, getting nauseous and stuff, and kind of trying to throw up. And the surgeon came in this morning and said, well, probably have to put that tube back down her nose into her stomach to keep the stomach. Let me shut that off. Keep her stomach acids down, and he said if she gets that in her lungs, she'll really have problems. So they put the tube back down her nose today and cut her liquids off, so she can go back to the swab, back to the sponge, and hopefully in a day or two, you know, that'll be over with. But at least now she's up and talking good. She wanted to watch TV, wanted her dentures back in. So, you know, there's been a lot of improvement, and I'm grateful for that. I'm glad to see that. But yeah, when they told her she could have liquids yesterday, she got all excited, you know. So she was telling the one nurse last night about 7 when they had a shift change that she really appreciated her taking good care of her and everything. So wife's doing a lot better. Like I say, there for, well, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 days, she didn't speak a word. So it's good to see her speaking again. In fact, they even, I think Friday or Saturday, I think they took her in for a MRI on her brain. So I guess maybe they wanted to check, make sure her brain wasn't damaged from this stuff. So, but then she started speaking shortly after that. Started talking, so I'm glad to hear it. So I want to thank everybody for praying and keep on praying, and I'll keep you guys updated. So I want to say happy scrapping to everybody, and we'll try to get another video out maybe Wednesday if I can. I'll try to come home and do a video, and before I have to run up to the doctor's office. And I'm going to try to meet with that guy on that 9.9 horsepower electric start, and if I can get that electric start to get it going, running good, I might take this 9.5 and go ahead and when I get it going, put it up for sale next spring. Try to make me some mad money, pocket money, which depends on how much this hospital bill runs. I may have to start taking money from that and throwing it onto the hospital bill to get them paid down, paid off. Try to hang on to a little bit of money for parts and whatnot. So I guess that's about it. I'll get this stuff picked up, go in and take a shower, and then I gotta run one bill up to the mailbox in town, pick up some milk for the daughter. I forgot to get milk. Yep. And then come back and head to the hospital. Head back to the hospital. Try to get there before dinner time. I need to get on the scale, see if I lost some weight after eating hospital food for about 2 weeks. My daughter did bring me up a nice bowl of lasagna one day, and then, which I think I came home once last week, had some clam chowder. Today I had some spaghetti. So you guys take care, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.